Today we're going to be talking about Giannis Antetokounmpo and how he is the most disrespected NBA legend playing right now. Yesterday he had a 35, 17, and 20 game. Nobody talked about it. The video that I have up is a Giannis should still win the Bucks a playoff series video while Damian Lillard is hurt. Let's get into it.
Expect Giannis to still win a playoff series?
Who they playing? Detroit? Yes.
The Knicks, Pistons, or Pacers, one of the three.
If they play Detroit, yes.
Second best player in the world. He can.
They play Indiana.
Round one, yeah.
Like, I'm not saying it's make or break, but I'm saying, is it a valid expectation?
At least go to 6-7.
For
Now
saying,
that
Giannis, win us a playoff series because we haven't seen you in the playoffs in years. Win us a playoff series.
For you.
You're healthy. You should be able to do it. I saw Nikola Jokic backpack Austin Rivers and Campazzo to a playoff series
Dame,
win.
the best Dame.
Is it reasonable for me to
Giannis can
say,
do
Giannis?
Yeah.
Can you beat the best Tyrese Halliburton?
I'm not saying conference finals. I'm not saying NBA finals. Win me a playoff series in the first round.
Beat the best Halliburton,
Is that
can he?
The good old he needs to carry no matter what the roster is. The good old, well, Nikola Jokic did this. LeBron did that. So surely, Giannis, you should be able to beat one of the best teams in the East with one of the best point guards in the league, with a Pascal Siakam that's been very productive all year, without your second best player, and with Kyle Kuzma getting starting minutes and Kevin Porter Jr. being your playoff starting point guard. Also getting coached by Doc Rivers. That's what you have to do, Giannis, to prove that you're valuable. Not like you've already had a 21 run where you were a phenomenal basketball player, had a Hall of Fame, legendary type playoff run, won a chip. Not that you've done any of that stuff already. We have to see you beat Indiana to know that you're still Giannis Antetokounmpo. I guess. Let's hear why.
Reasonable expectation.
Drew, I'm going to ask you because I feel like he was being disrespectful. Can Giannis beat the best version of Halliburton?
Can he beat Halliburton and Siakam?
Can he beat Cade?
Can he beat Cade?
Can he beat Cade in them?
He can beat Cade in them.
So he can't beat Halliburton and Siakam?
The Pacers are a very well-rounded team.
I don't disagree,
We'll have to
but
start talking about that legacy.
but Giannis, I mean, maybe he averages like 40 and 20, and there's nothing
He
we
really can. Who's guarding him?
No doubt.
Here's the thing.
And we
He's
can't
going to ball.
critique it.
No, but that's what I'm going to have issue with. He balls.
But what if he's not that great?
But what if he balls and he loses in 5 games?
Not his fault. I'll admit it's not his fault.
All right, that's all I care about.
Should I
But are we
also
gonna-
expect him to win a playoff series for me?
Are we going to give him grace, though, when he's balling and then some of them fourth quarters and them key moments, he's
Context
gawking
always
it up?
matters.
We-
Context always matters.
Okay.
And
This
in
is
the
his best
fourth
year for mid-range. He's added that component to his
Talk.
game.
'Cause I know you-
because we're trying to find a way
And
to
he stopped
to
taking threes.
belittle
No,
Giannis.
The
because
things
you
on
love,
offense, you can criticize him for
and
it
it's what
now.
you love to do, and I think it's a bit odd. You love to bring up the regular stats when he played Miami, but you hate, or you don't, talk about how he actually did in the fourth quarters when the game got tight. You love to talk about 35 and 20. 35 and 20.
It was 40 and 20.
And when you look at it, just from a box score perspective, it looks magnificent. But then when you remember the game, and you remember the fourth quarters, and you remember him throwing turnovers, you remember him
The free throw line dog shit.
going to being timid at the free throw line, even not want to be there. And you're like, nuts.
I guess Shaq never existed. How would Shaq get talked about today? Well, because he dominated quarters 1 through 3 and then had somebody else close out the game from and shoot the clutch free throws. Because that's a problem now? That's a thing? OMG, the 7-footer who can't shoot free throws prefers not to be the one shooting the free throws to win the game in the fourth quarter. Who would have thunk it? We're criticizing a player that I believe that game they're referring to, like Giannis had like 38-20 or some ridiculous shit like that. But hey, he didn't make his free throws in the fourth quarter, so obviously he's not that good. Because it's not like Shaq did that damn near all of his postseason championship runs.
24 attempts.
It's not what you want to see from your top guys. All I'm saying.
I'm not going to say it was his best moment in the fourth quarters in that Miami Heat series.
Not
Nevertheless,
ideal.
he tried everything that he could. He
did.
exhausted all of his energy while also being injured to try and overcome. And unfortunately, they fell short. Now, it's fair. I'm not going to say it's not. It's Giannis. You give one of the best players in the world, the top 3, top 2, in some people's eyes, the best player in the world. Not me, but in some people's, the best player in the world's eyes. You should go in there in the first round. You should not lose. So it's fair to have that expectation, but within reason. If in the first round Milwaukee starts to slip and now they have to face Boston, they have to face the the Cavaliers, which I don't see that happening, of course.
If Giannis is healthy and they slip, that's a critique on him. They should stay within the top 6 at the very least.
I think the Bucks are not that talented.
Their second best player is a 36-year-old Brook Lopez.
Hey, respect the Bobby Porter. Oh, he's suspended.
We have to get rid of this mentality in 2025. You have to carry thing when your team is dog shit. His starting point guard right now is Kevin Porter Jr. Bobby Porter's, who is important to this team, especially now, he hasn't been playing. Oh, excuse me, it's Ryan Rollins. My fault. I can't even say this nigga name. I ain't never said it. Who is this nigga? Ryan Rollins is his starting point guard. Why is it expected for him to be doing anything special with this team? Like, what are we talking about? Dame is hurt. Kyle Kuzma is Kyle Kuzma. What is he expected to do exactly? All Giannis is expected to do is go out there and play phenomenal basketball, and that's what Giannis Antetokounmpo is going to do because he's a phenomenal basketball player. That's the only thing he can control. The league is too talented now to even be expecting these players to one-man team opponents. That's not a thing anymore.
Is he back yet?
I don't think so.
Because I'm looking at, if they lose in the first round, these playoffs,
Nope.
Giannis would have only won one playoff series since 2021.
Oh, here we go. This where it gets nasty.
2022.
They haven't been healthy.
2022. He
at
won
any point
against
since
the
then.
Bulls.
Yeah, you beat the Bulls in the first round.
We do
No, I know.
not care.
That's the one playoff series
But
he
I'm
would have
saying
won.
2022. It was
Yeah.
22, not 21.
No, but I'm saying he would have won just one playoff series since 2021.
Oh, since
Yeah,
2021.
because if
Understood.
he loses, if he wins the playoff series, he'll win 2.
Gotcha.
But if he
with
loses,
you.
it's only one playoff series since 2021.
John,
but you're right. I'm
can't
talking about
forget.
after
I
the
gotcha. I'm
finals.
with you.
Up 3-2 against Boston. Had game 6 in his
Didn't
home.
have Chris Middleton.
Hold
he
on.
was still
Hold
up
on.
No way. No way. No way. Up 3-2. I don't like when we do this thing when we like bring up the series count. But in basketball, you have to win 4 games. And the more games you have to win, consequently, the best team or the better team, the more games played is going to figure it out and win the games. Milwaukee was playing without Chris Middleton that year. Boston, I'm pretty sure, and that was what, 22? Let me see. Boston in 22. They finished 51-31, but I'm pretty sure they had like the best record post All-Star break that year. They were playing phenomenal basketball. Chris Middleton got hurt. Giannis averaged, let me see here. Giannis in that series averaged 34, 15, and 7 with no Chris Middleton. I believe in this series, Drew Holiday couldn't throw a rock in an ocean. That was his second best offensive player. So yes, in 22, he got beat by a better team. That's fine. If you want to go with the narrative that, oh, he hasn't won a playoff series since 22 or whatever, and totally ignoring the context around all of those situations, you do that. In my opinion, I think we need to stop talking about the sport like that. In 23, he was coming off an injury. In 24, he didn't play. And now in 25, he's about to enter the playoffs, maybe without his second best player on a team that, quite frankly, hasn't been great all year to begin with. But he still has an expectation of beating the Pacers? Why? The Pacers are a good team. For a lot of people, the Pacers are a sleeper in the Eastern Conference. To have a deep playoff run, that makes no sense. And bringing that narrative up about him not having a playoff victory or having one playoff victory, to me, is foolish. So what are we saying? Is Giannis not a good playoff performer? We have questions about Giannis in the playoffs?
I'm not appreciating this.
still up
What
3-2.
did he
This
do?
is some bullshit.
What did he do?
This is
I
some
didn't,
bullshit.
What did he do?
Did I?
No, you're talking trash. What did he
Joel.
do in that game 6, Rick?
Joel, let me
Don't
ask you.
piss me
Joel,
off.
Let me ask you a question, because obviously these guys
He's not talking to me
they're getting
for a reason,
emotional.
John.
They're getting emotional. The
Do I
facts
look
are not-
emotional to you?
They're getting emotional. Did I not just bring up the series? Did I
flashing
say he played bad?
No, he
I
didn't.
What
just
does that
brought it
have to
up,
do with
right?
him that
I
they
just
lost?
brought it up, right?
But he was up 3-2.
Yeah, that's all I said.
What does that matter?
I'm just saying.
He had 40.
No, listen. I'm saying he was up 3-2 against that Boston team. I think it's fair that we can ask for him to win a first round series.
Okay.
Because he was up
Yes,
3-2. He's
okay,
like
yes,
he's been
he's
up.
capable.
Bulls never
That's-
stood a chance in the
All right,
first
I thought
round.
you were
That's
talking trash about him
No,
losing
no,
that
no,
series because you were about to piss me the fuck off.
No. What I was saying is we've seen him have.
I know you
be
take
up-
your slights at Giannis. That's the only reason why I'm in
No,
defense
we've
mode.
seen him be up 3-2.
Look, he's smiling. I
No, I'm
know
not
for a fact you're
smiling.
you can't even look me in the
Because you're
eyes.
tweaking, bro. I'm saying we've
Yeah,
seen
bro.
him up 3-2 against Boston. It was a
Drew
good team.
Holiday shot 30% from through that series. Brooke Lopez is coming
What
off
does that
back
have to do
surgery.
with what I'm saying?
Brooke Lopez
No,
is
no.
coming
All
off
right,
back surgery.
John,
This
let's
is
give
damn
him
near the
the
entire
John. Let's
year.
give him the
He's
benefit of the
second
doubt
best
that
We're
he's not talking about him blowing
We're
the series.
not.
Let's not.
No, what
Go
I'm
ahead.
saying is,
I understand what he's
'cause I
saying.
know you
now.
guys getting emotional about Giannis.
If you say that shit one more time,
and I know you
Do I
guys.
fucking lose it?
I know
Giannis,
you
or do I look
guys.
objective?
Look. Objective. Let's talk objective facts. He was up 3-2. That's a fact. That's a fact.
I
Let's
hate
talk
you.
a fact
He
too.
was up
It's a
3-2.
fucking miracle he got that team in 7
He was
games.
up 3-2. That's no. When you are that good, it's not a miracle. It's called you're that good. That's a
Exactly,
fact.
yeah, fair.
That's a fact.
He's
See,
that good.
don't slight Giannis. Now you're doing it. I'm not slighting Giannis. Keeping it.
Jokic was up 20 in the second half in a game 7 at home and lost. Do we now have questions about Jokic? And lost to what a lot of people would say an inferior team. So again, this point is irrelevant. He was up 3-2, sure, in a series where his team was inferior. And so him losing to a better team means nothing. He lost to a better team.
Real. He's that good. There's a fact.
I
He
said
was up
that
3-2.
team. That's a
So,
brilliant
Because
charge,
he's
John.
that good, I think he should win a
I
playoff
agree.
series.
And
Because
I
he's
agree.
that good.
I agree.
He should, in theory,
agree.
Drew
be
was
at
showing like
least. And I'm not Drew.
1949.
John Drew. I'm not asking him to win the damn thing. What I'm asking,
one series.
one,
He had no support.
at least go to 6-7. That's all I'm asking.
All right.
If you give me
At
7
least
games,
go to seven. I
you
gotta
give
go to
me
7.
7. Although
that's-
7 is
can't go-
tricky,
can't
I'm
go
gonna tell you
6.
why 7 is tricky, and 7 is a death sentence because there are people like Joel who have been waiting for a game 7 where in a game 7 you take the best player on the floor by any means, always. And the best player on the floor is probably going to be Giannis. If he loses that game 7,
What if it's Halliburton?
that is a team.
What if
You know
it's
the,
Benson?
you know
And
the
that's a
last
tough-
game.
that's
No,
what I'm saying,
you know
you
the
know,
last
make-
game 7 Giannis was in. Do you know?
Was it Boston?
No, no, take it. Oh shit!
It was Boston. And Grant Williams played. Well,
Damn it! I
What's
was
the
thinking
one before?
2021
Now-
against the Nets.
This Bucks,
Damn it! I hate that for him.
No, it
this
was-
Bucks lineup. I thought we should go over it when we were talking about Giannis with the
sucks.
Blazers. Kevin Porter Jr. or Ryan Rollins at point guard.
hilarious.
Torian Prince at the 2, where they
He's
got on a
shooting really
1-year
well.
deal.
Not terrible.
Yep.
Could
Kyle
be worse.
Kuzma at
That's
the 3,
real.
who was given away for
Torian
free.
Prince is better than Kyle Kuzma.
Did you see the
Yes.
team
Battle
LeBron carried to the
mid on
2007 Finals?
What's
What
up?
did he just say?
Did you
Put
see
him
the
up, bro.
Did you see the team LeBron carried to the 2007 Finals?
Yeah.
I'm not asking for a finals, but
Is
I'm
that-
asking for a play.
Another dumbass point. And this is also something we need to talk about. Because again, number one, yes, the East is better now, right? Cleveland and Boston reside in the East. Again, the Pacers are a really good team. The Knicks are there. And also this idea of this carry job thing. I want to remind you, if I'm not mistaken, chat, Mike Brown was the head coach of the Cleveland Cavaliers in 07. Okay, yes, he was. The Cleveland Cavaliers that season held opponents to 93 points a game, which was 5th in the league, and had a defensive rating of 101.3, which was 4th. They had a top 5 defense in the league. Does Giannis have a top 5 defense? Do the Milwaukee Bucks right now have an elite defense? No. What does an elite defense do? Number one, majority of the time, it keeps you in the game. And number two, it gives you much more room for error. Your offense doesn't have to be that good if your defense is elite. And so then a lot of times on these teams that have great defenses and then one great offensive player, the one great offensive player gets all the credit for carrying the team. When in all actuality, it's the defense that carries a lot of these carry job teams because the elite defense allows your offense to be mediocre. Again, referring to the 07 team who were 18th in offensive rating the year they went to the finals. Giannis does not have a great defense. In fact, the reason why it was even a series against Boston in 22 was because they did have a really good defense that year. And so they managed to keep some of the games close and close out a few of them, but they were still lacking much in talent against that other team, against the Celtics. So now you want him to carry a little above average defense, if we're being nice, and without Dame, a below average offense. They're not beating anybody if that's the case. And that is not an indictment on Giannis if they don't win. It's not a one-man sport. 5 people play at a time.
Playoff series win.
And that Eastern Conference versus this Eastern Conference.
John,
Do you remember the Kobe team that was up 3-1 in the Suns
And
that he dragged to the playoffs? All we are asking for.
I'm
All we
saying,
are asking for.
and
is
I'm
they win that series?
agreeing.
Well, they choked because what Kobe did. He wanted to choke. Remember that. Never
Give me a
forget.
semblance of
Wanna
faith
go
that
Chicago.
you can actually win the series. If the Bucks get smoked out in 5,
4.
oof.
Giannis will never get swept.
Ryan Rollins or Kevin
Whoa,
Porter Jr.
he didn't win against Miami.
They got a
won.
game.
He
They
didn't
won.
get a game.
He played in the first game.
He did not get a game.
He was in
The game they won was not game 1. It was
know.
game 2.
I know.
It's
did.
okay. He got
but he
swept.
played in the series.
If he plays in game 2, they wins. I'm not worried.
They
about
won
that.
already.
Kevin Porter Jr., Ryan Rollins, Torian Prince, Kyle Kuzma,
It's
and
how
Brook Lopez
Washington's
at
doing?
37.
John, I'm going to say this.
We know the Ross
Because-
because
The year Miami beat the Bucks in the first round, they went to the finals, right? Okay. So he lost to the finals team. That same Miami Heat team beat Boston, correct? So again, why is this an indictment on Giannis?
I don't fear no man. Giannis Antetokounmpo will win a playoff series.
There we go.
I'm going to stamp that.
Don't forget Gary Trent and Adrian Green.
No.
Hey, Gary Trent.
John, we don't have to talk about it.
AJ Green-
It goes unspoken.
That's where it ends.
John,
40% from 3, and that's all you got.
we all are aware of the Bucks situation.
So even if they play the Knicks, you guarantee it. You just said that. No, you just said that.
I mean, look at their interior defense.
You
I
said
mean, he's
it.
going
I'm
up against Cat.
He should kill Cat.
He's going to ball. I'm
Cat
just going to
might
say
foul out
this.
of
What's
Very
ball?
lame.
Like, what's the efficiency?
He's going to average 35 points, 12, 13
14,
rebounds.
What's the
6.5.
efficiency?
He's going to have
57% from the field,
Minimum.
and he's not going to take a 3. He's just
minimum. Minimum
Only two
minimum
is
from the
35
field,
games.
Like,
55.
Give me an EFG number. We're big on
No,
that.
how
I
about
don't
let's
give a
go
shit.
let's go true shooting. I'll say true
You
shooting.
sure you
62.
want that from him?
Yes.
The free throws add on, you know. Yeah,
It's
you
true.
know what I'm saying? That's how
EFG, good looks. 57.
Bet.
Right now, the Bucks are the 6th seed. They would play the Knicks.
I told you they're,
They're
slipping.
only-
they're
they're
bad.
only- they're
You said
half.
Guaranteed.
They're half a
don't wanna
game
see
back
that.
from the Pistons, but there's no way they slip to 7. The Hawks are like 6 games behind them.
There's no way.
So the Pistons right now, they're 18 games behind the first seed. The Bucks are 18 and a half. So
That's a
it's a
half
half game lead. If they get the 5th seed and they play the Pacers, it is reasonable for me to think that he can beat the Pacers.
Why? We agreed the Pacers are third best
They are
team
awesome.
in the
But
East.
Giannis is so far. If Giannis dominates that series, can he not dominate that series?
No, he will.
He will.
He will.
He will.
So him without his second best player is supposed to be who y'all all agree was the third best team in the East. Why does that make logical sense to you? If you all collectively believe that the Pacers are the third best team in the East, mind you, you're saying they're better than the Bucks as it is. Now he's supposed to beat them with no Dame. Gotcha.
Okay.
What do you
Against
mean
the best
doesn't?
player in the world.
There's no world that doesn't happen.
Okay.
It's Giannis.
Talk.
Okay, it's Giannis. He will go out there and he will
Playoff
dominate.
rise.
This really is
He
Jokic.
is.
This is Jokic
He
in
is.
2022.
Yeah.
Jokic 2022.
This is Giannis right now is Jokic.
Yes.
But Jokic in
yeah,
2022
if
had
only
maybe a little more
Giannis
help.
had, if Giannis had the luxury of playing the fucking Portland
AJ
Trail
No, he didn't play
AJ
for
had
2022. We
a
caught
little
you.
more-
He played staff. Caught you. Lying.
Okay,
Lying.
2021.
I don't know what
That's the
happened.
playoff series that he won. He didn't win a playoff series in 22.
He brought up 22.
No, he didn't. In
He didn't
22,
win a
Nuggets.
playoff series in
but he
22.
played
he
the
said
He won a
Champions.
playoff
In
series in 21.
Yeah, Jokic won.
Well,
21.
21.
21 and Dame is better than Hallie.
Don't fucking play me with that fucking Portland Trailblazers team.
They were better.
That Portland team was not better than this Pacer team. No, they were not. They have more talent on this Pacer team. Yes, Dame is better than Halliburton, but the team as a collective, the Pacers are better than their Blazers team.
They better than them.
They
No,
scored
they're
162
not.
points
Yes,
last
they
night.
are.
No, they were not.
They were the
I don't know
third
what
seed.
you're on about.
I
The
don't
Nuggets-
give a flying
the
fuck.
Nuggets- the
Dame,
Nuggets
that
were
was
the
the best
sixth seed.
Dame we've ever
100%,
seen.
and Dame balled.
And he beat Dame.
I understand
So
that.
is it reasonable for us to say Giannis go beat him?
It's bigger than just him.
It's not one-on-one. What the It's not one-on-one. It's a team sport. The Pacers are better than the Trailblazers. The fuck is he talking about?
It was bigger than just Dame.
Who's the second best player on the fucking Portland
CJ
Trailblazers?
McCollum.
And he wasn't that good.
Oh.
Was CJ even on that team in 21, or
Yeah,
was
he
he
was.
on
20
the?
he was 20 per game
Next
scorer.
year.
No, next year it was the following that he was on the Pelicans. Are we sure?
Yes, yes.
Positive, 'cause
All right.
he
Dame
had a
averaged
collapsed lung and then
34.
He was a god.
You're questioning me?
Dame averaged 34 and 10. This
Don't
is their
question
team. This is their team. It wasn't that bad.
All right.
It was good.
Dame, CJ, Norman Powell,
was cool.
Yusuf Nurkic,
just-
averaged
no
13 and 10.
defense.
Carmelo, Robert
Empty
Covington,
shell
and
off the bench.
Anthony
Off the bench.
Anthony Simons off the
It was
bench.
just no
This
defense.
is so. This is
it's
so
just
underwhelming.
Exactly. They played absolutely zero defense. If you look at this Pacer team, they have way better defensive personnel while still maintaining one of the better offenses in the league. Oh
You
man.
want me to you want me to name you the Nuggets roster?
I know it was dog
Jokic,
shit.
MPJ,
Yes.
Monte Morris, Aaron Gordon, Austin Rivers, Campazzo.
All right. They got some
Hey, no,
constants
Aaron
here.
Gordon
I
that
know,
year,
he wasn't
first
that
year.
good.
No,
He
I
wasn't that
remember
good.
what you told me.
It's
No,
true.
Monte Morris averages 15 in this series.
Yeah,
Shout out
nuts.
to him.
No, that's the problem.
What do you mean he's a playoff riser?
No,
Jokic
Portland's
Merchant.
defense was just so
It was
bad.
dog shit. Exactly.
have-
And it's Jokic who just won MVP.
Yeah, Giannis MVP. You tell us.
He's
Two
still
times.
one of the best in the world.
Talk. He should be there.
I have ultimate
Indiana
respect.
is a good,
Good team.
team.
I agree.
I have ultimate respect
They're a better team.
for Indiana. And I think they are a better team all around than the Bucks, of course.
Comfortably.
That year, Jokic carried the Nuggets to the 3rd seed, if I'm not mistaken.
That was 6.
And the Blazers were the 6th seed.
No, Blazers were 3rd.
I'm trying to understand it as much as possible because
I'm
What are
pretty
you talking about?
Blazers were 3rd.
no, Nuggets were 3rd seed.
Oh, so
I'm looking at
Blazers
it
were
right
6th?
now. Blazers were 6th.
You fucking lied.
I remember
No, whoa.
You fucking lied.
don't
You said the Blazers were the 3rd seed. You
I
fucking
think he's
lied.
thinking
they were the
2019.
6th seed. They were
I think he's
6th
thinking
seed.
2019.
They were 6th seed. Yeah, they were the 6th seed. So looking
He said
at
CJ
looking
was
at
on
that
the team.
series and looking at that
he
season,
was traded the next
He
season.
was
That's
traded
on me.
next season.
I remember in that playoff series in that season before it started, I said,
Wait, the Blazers were the 6th seed, so they weren't even the better team in the regular. Yeah, I'm done with this video. I want to turn our attention just very quickly to Giannis. Look at these numbers Giannis has been putting up. I mean, we could say since 2017-18, really. But let's just do since 1920, right? 29 and a half, 13 and a half, 5 and a half, 28, 11, 6, 30, 11 and a half, 6, 31, 12, 6, 30, 11 and a half, 6 and a half. This year, he's averaging 30, 12, and 6. There's only been 2 seasons in which somebody has averaged 30 points, shooting 60% from the field. If Giannis maintains his 60%, he'll be the 2 seasons. And the way that this guy just gets talked about nowadays, in my opinion, is absolutely disrespectful. It's disrespectful. Why is Giannis getting questioned about anything at this point in his career? We know who Giannis is. We know the quality of player he is. It was like, Giannis needs to beat the Pacers so we can what exactly also what we can what. He's been undoubtedly one of the 2 best players in the sport for the past 4 seasons. This year, if you want to say SGA's having a better year than him, kudos to you. But in all actuality, the thing, and I'm going to go ahead and just say it because I know, anybody that hears me talk about the sport or talk about these players, Jokic gets brought up a lot of the time when I'm talking about Giannis. And the reason is because, for me personally, to me, it'll be a shame if these 2 players retire and they're relatively around each other as far as all-time ranking, right? Maybe Jokic is 9 and Giannis is 12, or Jokic is 11 and Giannis is 14. But as they're playing, we would have talked about them like they're on 2 different planets. Jokic gets discussed compared to Giannis. Like Giannis isn't he's nowhere in the conversation. And for me personally, I just do not like the fact that because we praise and exalt one player, it seems like the consequence of that is downing and disrespecting another. My problem is never the Jokic praise. It's the disrespect towards everybody else. And it's the disrespect towards Giannis. Giannis is an all-time great basketball player. Let's discuss him as such. And let's treat him and respect him as such. He's been putting up basically peak Shaquille O'Neal numbers for the past 6-7 years. Respect him, please. Let's respect all our all-time greats. We don't have to disrespect one to lift up another. They're all great. But hey, that's what I have to say about the matter. Follow me on Twitter. Join my playback room. Subscribe to the YouTube. Give this video a like and share it if you can. Until next time, it's been real.